Mhm. Okay, we are live. Hello,
Oh,
parents. This is Coach John here from Learning Out of the Box, and thank you so much for being here. And I know that right now, many of you would be considering DSA through what your child specializes in. And today, we have the privilege of having the founder of Taneo Dance Academy, and he is Mr. Neo Ren Jie. Hello, Ren Jie.
hello, John. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here as well. Yeah, and the reason why I approached you and thank goodness you said yes is because three of my students actually went to you for DSA training in ballet.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah, Cherise and Celine.
Oh, Cherise and Selena. Okay, okay. Yeah.
Yeah. So the mom actually highly recommended you as well, and she said something like, 100%. Okay, this is what parents they like to hear lah. 100% of the students who went through you last year actually got into the school that they want.
Wow.
That's
Very
what she
flattered
said.
by that. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think this is what parents want to hear. So this is a key thing. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
so would you be able to share with us what's your backstory, and later we can move on to what parents are more interested to hear, which is how to game the DSA so that their kids can go into the school that they want.
Yeah, okay. So a little bit about myself. I maybe some of you will find me familiar lah because I'm a freelance actor doing a lot of Channel 8 dramas. So sometimes you see a bad guy and it looks familiar, that's probably me. Then growing up when I was in primary school, I was always interested to explore in performing arts lah. So I would say that growing up, I wasn't really a really academically inclined person. Always wanted to go into arts, and then things just happened when I met my wife. She is a dancer, and then she's also interested to teach dance. And then we just thought, hey, why not we set up a dance school? And then we've been running for more than 10 years already. Since then. Yeah. So other than doing freelance acting, I've never had a full-time job. Yeah, so that's just a bit about myself. And then our dance school, we are basically we are offering like exams lah for like ballet, jazz training, and then we are also specializing more towards the competition part. So it is kind of to adapt to the changing needs lah of the industry. So a lot of times when last time when schools when they want to do DSA for dance, right? Usually the requirement is like grade five ballet. Once you have grade five, you can apply. But right now they are looking more than that already. So it's like whether you have competition experience, whether you win awards and all that kind of stuff lah. So we are like evolving more towards that right now.
Yeah, so for today's topic, we are touching on is DSA right for you. So when the parents look at this, probably they have many questions. So what do we mean by is DSA right for you? And would you be able to help parents at least to break down like what are some of the things that they need to prepare right now? Yeah, because like for example, let me ask you lah, is ballet right for me?
You never know.
Without breaking a leg and a hand.
Yeah. So maybe I will like just I actually prepared some information, so I'll be probably referring to my notes.
Do you need to share any slide?
Oh, actually that would be a good idea.
Okay, let me make you admin.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. In the meantime, while I meet Ren Jie the admin, because I think for today he's a star lah. So he's a star in MediaCorp as well as in the dance field, DSA field, as well as a star for today. So in the meantime, parents, if you have any questions about DSA, please ask him now because I only have his time until 8:30. Okay. So after that, no more chance to ask him already. So anything you want to ask him, post in the Facebook comment box right now. Then I will ask Ren Jie, okay, just in case he missed it. Yeah. Back to you, co-host.
Okay, so how do I share screen? Let me see. Okay. All right. Can you see it?
Yes. Gonna make it bigger. Okay, good. Yep, thanks.
Okay, so I'll be referring to this because I'm not very good at remembering things. So I actually note down some things that I want to cover. Then hopefully this will be helpful. So yep, let's move on. So what is DSA? So in case like any parents watching this, you don't know what is DSA. DSA basically is like it's called direct school admission. It's like something introduced by the MOE to let schools have the power, in that sense, to have the power to take in students using their own matrix, their selection criteria. So they can choose to, for example, take in based on like certain CCAs or like based on leadership qualities and all that. So actually schools can have up to 30% of their school vacancies set aside for DSA admission. So that's basically what we are talking about today. So for DSA, basically you apply before taking the PSLE, and then you go through a whole lot of selection process. Then after that, if you get offered a place, then you have to decide whether to accept or reject the offer. And all this will be done before PSLE, or at least before getting the PSLE results. So in that sense, if you accept an offer already, you are not allowed to change your mind in that sense. So for example, if you were to get better grades for your PSLE results and you feel like you want to change, you cannot change. Once you accept, that's it already. Okay, so it's a kind of like a double-edged sword.
So just to clarify, because I'm also very new to this, and my kid is also PSLE kid this year. Yeah. So does it mean that, let's say, if my child got accepted through for ballet in that secondary school, and even if she got a better grade and she want to change, she can't change. It's like set for her for the next 4 years.
Yeah, correct. So basically, when you get offered a place, you have to decide. The ball is in your court. You are supposed to tell the school whether you want to accept or decline the offer. So once you accept, right, then it's set in stone. You cannot change already. So that's what it means, lah.
Like a marriage.
Yes.
Once you propose, you cannot take the ring back.
Yeah, that's it.
Yes.
Yeah, once you sign on the paper, it's done deal.
Got it.
Yeah, so you are not allowed to transfer school, and then you also, let's say if you get in through dance, for example, you are also not allowed to change your CCA when you're in the school throughout the whole tenure of the academy, like be it 4 or 6 years. Yeah. Then okay, then the good thing is, let's say for example, you are applying for the express stream for the school, and then and you're accepted, and you're offered a place and you accept it. But for PSLE, for some reason, you off form and then you didn't do very well. So maybe by usual standards, based on your results, you cannot get into this school. But since they offer you already, right, then no choice. It's set in stone. They have to take you in. So as long as you qualify for the stream that they want. For example, if you apply for express, as long as you qualify for express, they have to take you in. So unless if you apply for the school, which is they only have express, and then your results fall below express, for example, you get a normal academic score, then you void the whole thing. Yeah, so you still go through the normal PSLE postings process.
So it's like both ways. It's like an agreement between two parties, and as long as qualify for the stream, which is express, they must take you in.
Yeah, they have to take you in. So there are also some schools that offer normal academic stream. So for some students, maybe I'm jumping ahead. So for some students, maybe they feel that they are not that academically strong. They can choose to strategize to go for schools that have normal academic stream. So let's say if they don't make it to express score, they can still get in through normal academics. Yeah. So this is just one of the strategies that we help our students do to increase their chances of success. Okay, let me just move on. So like who is DSA suitable for? So basically, like students who are very outstanding in their fields. Outstanding meaning to say, if you are talking about dance, then we are looking at like super outstanding dancers. Maybe you join competition and you win a lot of awards, or like you represent the country. If let's say you're doing sports, you're in the national team, people who are like really outstanding and not just talented, I'm talking about outstanding. And then also students who have very good academic results, it is not an easier path to enter school. It is very difficult to enter schools because there are actually less vacancies available for students to go in through DSA. Yeah, so because there's a lot of demand but and very little supply, so it's actually super difficult. So it's not an easier path. And what DSA preparation can do is to help talented students improve chances of success against peers with the same standard. So when we go for preparation courses, right, sometimes you search online, you'll see like DSA preparation. Wow, like some parents have this misconception that if you join these workshops, then that means okay, steady already, you can get selected through DSA. But actually, that's not what the preparation course is about. The preparation course is only help you to like package yourself so that you must already be of a certain standard. So you package yourself better, so you like you outshine your peers of the same standard. But it cannot help you like vastly improve your talent within a short time. So it's like if you want to a DSA by dance, but you have not been learning dance, you just want to like attend a 1-2 weeks crash course and then cannot get in. So that's what preparation is about. So yeah, and so basically people who are outstanding in the talent and people who have good academic results, they are suitable to do DSA. If you don't have either of these, right, then chances are the chances of getting through is very, very low, I would say.
And I think the talent word here is also very subjective. What if there's a case that the parents feels that her child is very talented, but because you're a professional and you've seen so many kids, and to you is she can't make it in a sense because of lack of some skills.
Yeah, that's a very good question. So we from running my school, I always get inquiries coming in, and some parents will say that, oh, my daughter is very talented, she can dance. So I will usually ask questions like, okay, can you share with me more about what has she achieved in dance? How long has she been dancing? So if she's taking ballet exam, then or she's been taking for how many years? What's the grade now? What's the score that she attained, and whether she's doing competitive dancing? So I'll try to get more information, and then I will like advise. So it's actually more of a case by case basis, and also it differs from one art form to another art form, from one sports to another sports. Really, it depends on where you stand against the peers. So I guess to really understand where do you stand, you need to speak to people who really understand the industry very well. So for example, if you want to DSA by dance, right, you just need to speak to a dance teacher, and then you show the teacher your daughter's whatever achievements and all that, and then immediately the instructor will be able to tell you, okay, wow, she's very good, or actually she's kind of below average. You get a sense of that lah. Yeah.
Understand.
So let's move on. So how does DSA work? So so like I mentioned just now, schools are given a choice to select which CCAs that they want to DSA. Not all CCAs. Okay, so sometimes parents, they do a search online, and then you know that, oh, this particular XYZ school, right, has this particular CCA, but they have that CCA doesn't mean that they want to DSA for that CCA. So usually all this information will be released prior to the DSA application window. So you still have to do your own research, school by school. And also doesn't mean that last year, right, the previous year, they do DSA for this particular CCA. Doesn't mean that the next year they will continue taking in the same CCA also. So we always have to do the research.
Oh, so when you say window, when was it? And I think another question that parents will ask is, why isn't that if the schools has been accepting students for this CCA, but for the DSA, why they will stop like next year? I mean, what's the reason?
The reason, it can be any reason one. It can be like they just suddenly don't feel like it, or they want to focus on another CCA. Really can be anything one. So it's very difficult for us to determine what is the reason. Yeah, but so always we have to check the website for all the information. Yeah. Then so as a rule of thumb, usually they take in about like, I would say average 3 people per CCA. That's like the norm. Sometimes up to 4. Seldom I see schools taking in above that figure for a particular CCA. yeah, then they'll determine their own selection process. So usually they are kind of like split into 2 rounds. So the candidates will usually be assessed by the coach themselves. So to check the talent, whether the talent is okay or not. Like, okay, then after that, the coach will like shortlist a pool of students, and then they will move on to the next stage to be interviewed by the school teachers, or like a panel of teachers. Then they'll ask them interview questions and all that. Yeah. That's like the gist of how DSA works. Okay, so yeah, like first round usually is like an audition or a trial by the coach. So the main objective is to find talented applicants, and also doesn't mean that if the school has 3 slots open up for this particular CCA, that means they have to take 3 people. So if the coach feel that there isn't enough people that are up to standard, they can choose not to take anyone. So that's what happens in DSA, the first round. And then the second round, yeah, sorry.
To clarify, when you say the head coach, is it the head coach of the, for example, if I send my girl to you, is it the head coach of your school or the head coach of the secondary school?
The secondary school's head coach, yeah. So like for example, if you are doing dance, then usually it's the dance teacher, not the CCA teacher in charge, but the actual trainer from external. Usually that is the person that is deciding. Yeah. So sometimes in that sense, a bit of, if that trainer knows you, then you can have that a bit of advantage, this kind of thing.
Really? Then can I like really go and find out who is the head coach so that I can get to know the head coach first?
Actually, if the student is at a very competitive level, usually the coaches would have known this person already. Yeah, so it's like, for example, if you are in national team in like soccer, for example, the coach will know that this fella is from national team. So the moment you apply, they'll take you in already. So sometimes it's not just okay, I have to prove myself during the selection. Sometimes you just being you walk in, you apply your name out there, they'll take you already.
So you must have the talent there to be scouted as a talent.
Yeah, so the whole point is they want to choose like really outstanding people. Yeah. Then so after that, the coaches choose a pool of people, right? Then they will pass on to the teachers. Then the teachers usually will ask questions. They are trying to like find students who are like smart in that sense, so confident and smart. So it doesn't mean that you are very talented in your sports. And then, but if you are not good with answering questions, then they also you will like pale in comparison with your peers. So this is one. There are some. Okay, so I actually wrote here some of the common questions that are always asked, like tell me about yourself, or share with me about your journey, your strengths and weaknesses, your regrets in life, your they like to ask about academics, like what's your strong subject, what's your weak subject, what do you plan to do with your weaker subject, how do you cope with your CCA, why do you choose this school, all this kind of thing. Usually these questions can be anticipated beforehand, and then we can have like model answers to tackle them. Yeah.
Sounds like tough questions for a 12-year-old to answer. I mean, even if you ask me now, like let's say you interview me now, I would like, I don't know what to say,
Yeah, I guess actually all these questions, they are not impossible to answer in that sense. It's just that if you are not prepared for it, it can catch you by surprise. And then you like you stammer lah, then that is the deal breaker already during the interview. Yeah, so of course there will be some killer questions, which this one actually I only do it. Sorry, I can't share the killer questions. So there are actually some questions that I have identified over my previous years of preparing kids. So usually after we prepare, we send them for interview. I'll usually ask them, oh, what questions do they ask you? And then I'll note them down. So there are some questions that I feel are killer. It's like, if you don't know how to answer, then that's it for you already. That's gone case already. So I have reserved some of these questions that I only share with my own students because this one is for our competitive advantage. Yeah.
Understand. Yeah. So parents, if you want to know the killer questions, and if your kids are going for ballet DSA, right? Yeah. You can look for Ren Jie at Taneo, TANEO danceacademy.com. Then you ask him, once you sign up, you ask him what are the killer questions.
Yeah, then I can share more.
Yeah. Okay, and again, just a disclaimer here. This one is not a paid advertising, and you didn't pay anything for this sharing, right?
No, I didn't.
And the reason why I do this is because our parents are very hands-on parents who want the best for their kids, lah. So we want to, within my own network, I try my best to bring all these experts in who are heart-centered as well to really to support our parents.
Yeah, sure. I think that's very nice. I don't know how many parents are watching. Do you have
About
any
10,
idea?
about 10, about 10.
Okay.
Yeah, about 10. And parents got questions, please ask. You got only until 8:30, but don't ask at 8:30. It's too late. You ask before 8:15. Then I can still ask Ren Jie. Okay. Back to you.
Yeah, so okay lah, I just did this one. Okay, I'll just run through. So usually how does the selection process work? So for example, if the school they want to take in 3 students for that CCA. So usually what they do is that they'll have an order of offer. So they will write down, okay, this candidate is number 1, this one number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. So basically if they only want to take in 3, they only have 3 confirmed offers. And then maybe they'll choose like a list of like 4 or 5 people on the wait list. So in that order, so if any of the first 3 reject, then they'll call up the 4th person, the 5th person, the 6th person. So usually that's how it works. Yeah. So if you get a confirmed offer, is a really big thing.
Yeah. I'm curious, because first time I heard before reject. In what situation will a child who was confirmed but later rejected? What happened?
Reject by the school, is it?
Will there be cases that it's really confirmed, but later after some time things change and I don't know what changed, then he or she got rejected?
If they get rejected by the school, it will be because of the PSLE results not meeting the stream lah, like either express or usually it's express lah. Yeah. So okay, so actually wait, let me see. This one, maybe I'll come back to it later. So the timeline of DSA, typically we are looking, okay, this one for the past 2 years, they haven't been sticking to the plan because of the COVID. So may vary a bit, but that's usually how the flow of the timeline works lah. So around March period, you'll start to shortlist your schools. The information will be usually released about April period. Like information such as, like for example, which CCAs the schools are taking in for DSA, and then what is the requirement. For example, like for dance, they will say that, oh, I need you to do like a 2-minute video submission in this particular genre, and then they can give you like very specific instructions like, oh, I need to see turns and jumps and something in your dance. So this is like all the details of the application will be released usually around the April period. Then after that, May, June is the application, and then from between July to August you have the audition, interview, and all that. Then by September, the schools will give you a result. So either they'll give you a confirm offer, or they'll put you on the wait list, or they'll say, sorry, you're rejected. So 3 outcomes. Yeah, then after you have until October to think about it, and then to accept or decline the offers. Then everything will be finalized by November, usually around there. Usually it's before getting PSLE, you will know which school you are going to already lah.
Will there be a case that one child is accepted by 2 or 3 schools?
So you can get confirmed offers. You can get a mix of confirm or waitlist offers lah, basically. So maybe school A give you confirm offer, then 2 other schools give you a waitlist. Then it's up to you to decide whether you want to wait for the waitlist or you want to straight up take the confirm offer. So yeah, so you have to look at what are the offers that you have on the table, and then you decide by October. Yeah.
And there's a question for you in the chat box from Mami Kelly.
Let me
you open up the chat, you'll see.
Okay, this is a very good question. Is SOTA DSA any different from MOE school DSA? Okay, SOTA is very different. they have their own selection. They do their whole DSA is separate from the MOE school system. So you apply straight to SOTA. And then yeah, but I'll say the selection process is largely very similar lah. It's like they look at your results, they look at your talent, they do the interview. Yeah, I would say it's mostly very similar. But for SOTA, there is only one way to get in, which is through DSA. You cannot get into SOTA by PSLE. Yeah. So some people they don't know that. They want to go into SOTA, they wait until after PSL, then they try applying for SOTA, then they realize that, oh, SOTA don't take in via PSLE posting. You have to apply very early. Yeah.
Okay. As you may say, early is when, apply when?
For SOTA, I would say usually it's around mid-year period. So it can vary. But I would say as early as April, start checking the website very frequently to look out for the information already.
Okay, got another question. But again, you can decide when to answer based on your slides, because I'm not sure how much you have prepared.
Okay.
And I know that you have spent a lot of time in there as well, so you decide. Yeah. So Lucas, we have a question, but I'll leave it to Ren Jie to decide when to answer, because probably he has some things for you later on. Okay.
Okay.
Thanks.
Okay. So the question for the waiting list, will you still be able to choose a Sec1 posting from Lucas? Okay. So if you are being put on the wait list, right? What it means is that yeah, like for example, like the order of selection that I showed you just now. If you are offered a wait list, that means whether you get in or not depends on whether the confirmed offers accept or decline. So in what situations will they decline their offers? Usually these people are super outstanding. They probably have multiple offers. So when they have multiple offers, they'll have to decline some lah. So I would say based on my experience, if you're on a wait list, there is still a pretty good chance that you will get accepted eventually. Yeah. So I don't know if I answered the question correctly.
Never mind. Lucas, if you have any question, right, we want to clarify, you just put in the chat, in the comments in Facebook page. So yeah, I can just copy and paste into the chats of Zoom so that Ren Jie can answer as and when he has. Yeah.
So basically, if you are on the wait list and you do not get a confirm, you do not get confirmed and accepted by the school, then you can take part in the secondary one posting lah. Yeah. So you just go through as per all the other PSLE students. Okay. Okay. Let's see. Yeah. So maybe. Okay, maybe I'll touch a bit about like how to choose a school that's more suitable. Yeah. Okay, actually this one, wait, this one I don't touch first. If we have time, then we touch. Okay, why do top talents fail their DSA? So sometimes a lot of people think that, okay, you're a national champion. That means when you apply for DSA, right, you'll definitely get selected. Actually, that is not true. That's not true because you remember I told you there's 2 rounds of selection. So you can get selected by the coach, but maybe the school will reject you for other reasons. Maybe your school results not good enough. Maybe your interview, you didn't do very well. So, or you choose a school that is not within your academic level. So this is a very common reason that students get rejected. So sometimes they feel that the students or the parents, they feel that, wow, very confident, national champion, #1 ranking, confirm I can apply for any school, but it's not true. Because they will always look at your academic results first. So if your academic results is not what the school wants, like for example, you are trying to apply for Raffles, Nanyang and all that, but they look at your results and they feel that you will struggle, then even if you are super talented, they will not take you in. Yeah. Or yeah, correct. Or they do not diversify their results. Sometimes it's like, because like I shared earlier, like schools usually they have like about 3 vacancies. And then the thing is, we never know which schools are very popular that year. And then we should always try to diversify the risk and use up all three options. I have had experience of seeing some parents super confident. Wow, my portfolio confirm can get into any school I want. They only apply for one school. And then end up the school chose somebody else basically, and then end up you don't get offered by any schools. So let's try to diversify the risk a bit. Yeah, and also do research on a school. This one, what do I mean by doing research on a school? So for example, everything I'm sharing is based on my experience in dance lah. So it's more dance. So any of the parents here looking to DSA dance, this one will apply more to you. So when we do dance DSA, there are many different types of dance. So there's modern dance, contemporary, Chinese dance, and so on and so forth. And then if you think that, okay, I'm a dancer, so that means I can apply for any kind of dance. Then after when you apply already, then you realize, hey, alamak, wrong genre. You are not what they are looking at. So then you are just wasting your chance, basically. So you have to do research on what is the genre that they are looking at and whether you know that genre. Doesn't mean that, I know dance, I learn ballet, that means I can audition for, I can join any school's DSA dance. Yeah. Then overconfident and not prepared for audition and interview. That's the number one killer. There's a couple of killer questions that sometimes there's some answers that you just cannot say one. There's like absolute right and wrong answers. When you give the wrong answers, then that's it for you.
Right. Yeah, okay, I want to ask more about the genre. I mean, because you are the expert in the dance field. So what are the different genres of dance in your experience?
Okay, in Singapore, right, we have a few main ones. Contemporary dance. We have modern dance. But actually, contemporary and modern dance, basically contemporary means a new modern type of dance lah. So it's really up to interpretation of the instructor themselves. So sometimes they can call it modern dance, but they can do like K-pop, they can do hip hop, they can modern dance is very vague. But usually, if you see modern dance, that's a pretty good news because they are usually quite flexible. But if you see like, for example, dance sports, if you see ballet, these are very specific dance genres. And if you are trying to like do a hip hop audition to apply for ballet, then chances are you won't get it lah. Yeah. So the common ones: contemporary, modern dance, Chinese dance, international dance. These four are the most common. Ballet, actually, not common at all.
Common. I'm surprised. Well, I thought it's very common.
Yeah, ballet as an enrichment is very common, but ballet as a CCA in school, very, very little. The ones that I know, I think like 1 or 2 schools only. Yeah. Usually it's modern dance, contemporary dance.
Okay, yeah. So this is why we have to do our research.
Do your research, yes.
Yeah, I mean, even though we know ballet, for example, it doesn't mean that the school accepts that as well. So better start early.
So a lot of times, like very good dancers, they feel that, okay, I learned ballet outside. So when they are trying to apply for, let's say, Chinese dance, then they perform a ballet dance. Then that's like, don't match. So even though you are very good dancers, but your preparation work is not right. So that's where they chop off.
Yeah. It's like you want to eat cai tao kueh, but the auntie cook cao Hokkien mee for you.
Yeah, correct.
Not from the same shop, but it's different dish lah. You know that you don't.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so do the research usually about around April period lah. So we have to keep a lookout. Yeah.
Understand.
Okay, then I'll share some myths versus facts. Okay, so some myths that some parents have: you don't need to be book smart to get into branded school. So this is wrong. Academic results is always the first layer of selection. So only after, okay, so actually the academic results very easy for them. They can pull out your school results from the system. There's this system that they can, everything is recorded inside. So if you don't even get past the results that they're looking for, then they won't even look at your talent or the interview. So we always tell the parents to be realistic with their selection. Don't try to be too ambitious and apply for schools that's out of your academic league. Yeah. And then also another myth is that if my child is not in the national team, then there's no chance to get into top schools like Raffles, Nanyang, right? So a lot of people, they have this idea that in order to get into the very, very top school, I must be like very, very top in my talent. Like I have to be a national champion. But actually that is not true, because this is linked to the first point. Academics is the first layer of selection. So you can, let's say if you want to apply to, like for example, say Nanyang, and then you are the smartest person academically out of all the batch of people applying for Nanyang. Actually, you have a better edge over the national champion if that person's academic is not as strong as you.
Oh,
I don't know if you follow what I mean. So basically, academics is the first thing that they're looking at. Long story short. Yeah. So we do have experience quite a few times where the top dancers, they actually don't get offered by the top schools. But whereas the dancers that we feel they are not bad, they are decent, but they are not at the top level, but they get offered
because their grades are better.
Because their grades are much better. Yeah.
Must be much
better. Yeah. So that's a myth that trying to get it right lah. Then attending other myth, like attending a DSA holiday workshop is all it takes to do well for DSA. This one is definitely not true. So DSA, okay, these workshops can only help students who are already at a competitive level. So it's like I said, it's like you are already very good, but we just give you a bit more to package you so that you stand out from your peers. But we cannot, within a short period of time, to get you from no proper training to beat someone who's a national champion. That one is impossible. And the next myth is that all talents are equal. So what do I mean by that? Actually, right, a lot of people think that, oh, my friend's daughter got offered DSA for dance. So my son is very good at violin. Then maybe DSA also can, both are national champions. So maybe my son can get a place through DSA. But actually it's not true, because if you look at it, there are common CCAs, and there are CCAs that are like very niche and very rare. So for example, maybe violin, not so good example. I use gymnastics. There are not many schools in Singapore offering gymnastics. So if, let's say your daughter is a dancer, chances are your daughter will have more options for schools to apply to. Whereas if your daughter is a gymnast, then maybe you only have a few schools to choose from. So that's what I mean by not all talents are equal. So maybe if you're a gymnast, for this example, if your daughter is a gymnast, then you really need to be at a super top level, because there's not many schools. So they only pick from like the best few. Yeah, but whereas if you are like in a common CCA like dance, a lot of schools are doing dance for CCA. Then the competition is less tense in that sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think one way that I can think of to summarize for the parents is you have to look at the supply and demand.
Yes.
It doesn't mean that you can't compare an apple to an orange, even though they're all fruits. You need to know the quantity plus the demand for the students at a point in time.
Yeah.
So do your own research lah.
Exactly. Okay, then also another myth is that the longer portfolio is better. So some parents, they like to like record down, do I need to write down every single thing? I attend this workshop, I attend that workshop, I got this exam grade 1, I got this mark, grade 2, this mark, grade 3. So actually longer is worse. Because it's worse because there's a lot of noise. And then you put yourself in the shoes of the person that's doing the selection. You have, let's say if you have hundreds of applicants coming in, you are not going to look through the entire thing. Yeah, best is if you can summarize everything into one page and only list the key achievements, the best ones, put your best ones out there. That's all that matters. So so we always advise parents, like students, right, to try to focus more on quality and not on the quantity. So things like, oh, I completed this grade, I got distinction for exam, I took part in SYF and achieved distinction. All these are actually very common. Most of the applicants would have this in their portfolio. So we try not to repeat, unless this is the only thing that you have, then you put this. If not, then we always we want to put out things that's more like that's more rare in that sense, like, oh, you're a CCA leader in school, I'm the exco, I'm the head prefect, that kind of stuff, things that are rare. Or I'm in the national team, I won this big competition as a soloist national champion. Or let's say if you're a singer, or I sang in the NDP parade as a lead singer, that kind of stuff. So things that will make people go, oh, wow, special. And not just SYF distinction. That one, like, everyone is the same.
Yeah.
Okay, so...
Just before you move on to the next question, parents, if you have any question, we have like last 10 minutes, ask now, before the sharing ends. Yeah, parents, if you think that this sharing can benefit other parents as well, do share the post. And you can hear the dog is saying, I agree as well. Yeah, share the post if you think that our parents can benefit from this DSA sharing, because this is the last one already. You know, it's very hard to find DSA coaches who are generous enough to share. Yeah, so this is only your last chance to ask questions. Yeah. Okay, back to you. And it's okay. I mean, I know that you have a dog.
Yeah.
And I mean, this only shows that in the midst of our busyness at home, we still want to help the kids as well. So thanks so much for being here with us.
Yeah. I hope to receive some questions from the parents, because I want to answer like real questions. Hopefully I can see some. Okay, so some frequently asked questions. So these are the questions that I always get. Like, okay, what does DSA training prepare the students for? Like when we see DSA training, what is it? So for myself, like this is how, at least this is how I do it. I usually will like it's like a consultation. Before you do it, it's good to have a consultation, whether is it even worth trying. Because for some people, I will tell them, hey, actually, I will ask them questions like, for example, why do you want to DSA? Why you want to try? Why you want to even try DSA through dance? Then sometimes they'll tell me, oh, because my child is not good in studies. Then I'll share with them, okay, do you know that they look at the results first? So understanding that, do you still want to try? Or you want to spend your time, go and have extra tuition classes and all that? So this is the consultation part. So when you go for a preparation, at least this is what I do with my parents. So I don't want to waste people's time and give them the false impression that, oh, I am good in my talent, but my results are not very good, but I can still get into a top school if I prepare well for DSA. So that's not true. Then also our preparation, we help the students to strategize how to select a school. So how to select school basically will be, I'll be looking at things like your academic results. We look at compatibility, whether this school is suitable for your academic results. So if you try to choose schools that are out of your league, they are wasting one shot. So we try to choose the schools. We try to be very realistic with our school selection. Yeah, in terms of academic results and also in terms of CCA. Yeah, like for example, if the dance genre is totally mismatched, then I'll tell you, hey, try not to apply for this school. I don't think you have a good shot of getting in. So that's the strategizing part. And then also for dance, this one is more specific to dance, pre-DSA preparation. So we have like choreography work, learn a routine, then we do video recording. Because for dance, it is very common for them to ask you to submit a video first before they shortlist and ask you to come down for the live audition. Yeah, and then we will run through, of course, we'll run through all the interview questions. Yeah, and teach them how to craft the answers to impress the interviewer. Yeah.
We have one question in the chat. Just before you answer that, I got one question. I know that you asked the parents, so before you sign up for this you know that grades are important as well.
Hmm.
Okay. Do you ask the kids as well, and will you have cases like the parents say, I want my kid to go for DSA, but when you ask a child, do you really want the DSA? You can see from the face,
They don't want to.
and my mommy forced me here, lor. So how like that? Like that how?
This one, usually I will also, I feel it's more important to talk to the parent. If the kid don't want it, then even if the kid gets selected, it's 4 or 6 years stuck in that CCA. Leh.
Oh.
So I feel this one is very important, more for the parents to understand. If the kid says no, then probably we should just follow their heart.
Would there be cases that the parents will say, hey, try lah. You know, the parents really want it. You know, like, it's the parents' dream to be in a DSA rather than a kid's dream.
This one, it's really very difficult for me to speak on behalf of these parents, because it's like,
Sure.
we as much as possible, we try to ask the parents to like listen to the kids, like what they really want. But some parents, you know, may not be always possible.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, we have our parents who want to know more about what are the selection criteria.
Selection criteria. Maybe can I ask like specifically what can I understand? Maybe it's like a sports or like arts, because the selection criteria is quite there's a lot of selection criteria. So for sports, for like dance, or let's say for leadership, the selection criteria is quite different. So I give you an example based on what I know lah. So if we are doing dance, okay, always back to dance, the selection criteria is always number one, academic results. That's the first level of filter. The school have to feel that the kid can cope in the school academically. That's the first level. Then second level is usually the CCA instructor. They will choose like dancers that they feel, oh, these dancers are good dancers. Then they'll shortlist a list of names and pass on to the panel in school, usually like a group of teachers lah. Then they'll conduct the interview, and then they'll finalize on the final position, like first, second, third, like who they want to offer to. So every round they are looking at very specific things. So so the first round is results, second round is talent, third round is they're actually looking at like things like whether this kid got confidence, whether they can communicate well. Yeah, so these are the main selection criteria, I would say, generically across the board. Yeah.
Okay, Giselle replied, she says leadership and sports.
Okay, so for leadership, they want to look at things like whether this kid has taken leadership position before. So usually they are looking at like prefects or like head prefect, school CCA leader, captain, that kind of stuff lah. So, and I would say for leadership, the most important part is actually the interview. Because from the way a person speaks, you can tell, hey, this person will become a impressive leader. Communication skills. Yeah, for sports, it is not so much of that. For sports, I would say the main thing is still the talent, no? Like whether the coach feel that this kid national champion material. Yeah, but it differs from CCA to CCA lah. So it's best that if you are trying to apply through a certain sports, it's best that you speak to people that's in that sport to find out more about where does my kid stand as compared to the peers. Yeah.
Yeah, so parents, if you need more info, like what Ren Jie has suggested, talk to more people, especially those who have managed to go into the school via the DSA. I mean, you'll get the best and most accurate picture lah.
Yes, correct. Yeah, so some other FAQ, frequently asked questions, like I get this a lot. I get parents telling me that, is it too late to start now? P5 ready, P6 ready? The short answer is yes lah. It's usually too late. I mean, unless that you have already been been training for a long time, for many years, then I just package you a bit. Then yes, you can try. But if you are thinking about starting from nothing at P5 and P6, I would say that it's usually too late lah. Yeah, so that's the short answer. And okay, in what case I will encourage people to try to start from zero is sometimes very special case. The parents can't tell me, my girl has never attended any formal dance training before, but I want to try for DSA. Then I will advise, why you want to try? The chances of getting in is next to zero lah, I will say. But then the parents say, but my girl's result very good. I think she can get into Nanyang. I just want to try only. They say, okay, can lah. If you just want to try, then by all means go ahead. Why not, right? So to at least to go through the whole process, you learn something through the interview process and all that. So I'll say these are the only people I will say, okay lah, since you have nothing to lose, then you try. But for people who are trying to use DSA to get into a better school, I would say probably not. Yeah.
So just to clarify, I think what I heard is the first criteria of trying, because there's nothing to lose, and also because your child's grades is already like the top of the top.
Yeah.
And probably we can see it as a form of enrichment.
Yeah.
If you got in, good for you. If you didn't, it could be even some outlet of stress for her as well, and she may even do even better.
Yeah. So there's nothing to lose. So that's the only way I feel that for someone who is not professionally trained to try, because you have nothing to lose. What? Yeah. But if you have something to lose, like you are juggling between, should I spend more time to brush up my studies or training? I would say you go for the studies. That makes more sense. Yeah.
Yeah. So parents are grades first. Grades first. Then you got more time because the grades are very good. Then you go to Ren Jie.
Yeah. Yeah. So I guess that answers the second question also. If my child is not doing well academically, should I spend more time on the enrichment? So no. Study more. If the whole point is to get into a better school, so study. Yeah. Find John. Don't find me.
or you can find both lah. Find John and Ren Jie lah. DSA plus maths.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess I've covered most of it already. Wow. Okay, maybe I can just come back to this.
Probably you can just share one or two more last slides before we do a wrap up.
Yeah. So this one, okay, how do you choose a school that's suitable for you? So like, okay, DSA, I always tell people, DSA is actually quite overrated. DSA is overrated because if you can get in to the school through your school results, then why do you even need to DSA? Right? What's the point of DSA? So it's actually quite overrated. If you are trying to use DSA to get into the next league, it will not happen, man. It will not happen. So at the end of the day, I still find that choosing a school, the most important thing is academic compatibility. Find a school that you know that your kid will feel comfortable in. You know, like there's always this saying, whether you want to be a big fish in a small pond or a small fish in a big pond. I always feel that wherever you go, you should try not to feel out of place. If you feel out of place, then I think for the next 4 to 6 years, it's going to be very miserable. Yeah, try to find schools that are close to your house, because wow, time is so precious in secondary school. CCAs end very late. Like we see some schools, like for example dance, when they are training for SYF, they can do 3 times a week. And then they'll end like 6 p.m. Then by the time they reach home, have dinner, shower, almost bedtime already, then still need to study for exams and all that. So if you imagine you throw in another 1 hour for traveling, there's a lot of time gone. So I always advise, try to choose a school that is convenient and academically suitable for the child. And then other things, actually, I just list down here is only for your consideration. It's actually not important. Like whether you can, maybe some people have preference, they like government aided school, independent school, specialized independent schools. So all these things, I would say in terms of the syllabus, there's not much difference. They are still taking the PSLE at the end of the day, but it's just that to understand the independent schools, they have more freedom to run programs. So they have more budget lah in that sense. So they can introduce like maybe a leadership training course lah, don't know what, camps lah, and a lot of things. So that's the difference between like independent schools and government schools. So if you are interested, you can do your research. So actually you can do a quick search on Google, right? The list of secondary schools in Singapore. All this information will come out. Which schools are government schools, government aided, independent, and all that. So what is specialized independent schools? So like the parent mentioned, SOTA. SOTA is a specialized independent school. So there are 4 specialized independent schools. If I remember correctly, SOTA is one of them. Sports school. Then SST, right? There's the school called SST.
Technology, is it like?
The science and technology, and one more I can't remember. So there are four schools. The other one I can't remember. Yeah, but if you Google, you can find out. Then autonomous versus non-autonomous. Sorry,
It's okay. It's okay. Parents, one more question. Last chance to ask. If you want this video to be on your Facebook wall so that you can refer to it easily, just share it. It'll be on your wall.
Yeah, so autonomous versus non-autonomous. So this one, just to touch on a bit, autonomous is basically like the school is given a bit more freedom to design some of the programs. So it's kind of a bit like independent. Then SAP schools, maybe some of you are familiar. SAP schools is like they emphasize more on the Chinese program. So so with that, if you're trying to DSA to a SAP school, sometimes it's easier. Like as a of course I'm saying if you are Chinese student trying to DSA to a Chinese school, actually you have less competition because DSA is supply and demand. So you don't have that competition from the Malays and the Indians and all that. So sometimes SAP schools may be easier to get in. Yeah, so that's one tip. But bear in mind, sometimes SAP schools interviews, right? They may surprise you with interview in Chinese. So this one catch a lot of students by surprise.
Get ready.
Yeah. Then yeah, of course, go and find out. Go and see whether you prefer the O levels route or the IP, IB, and all that. So I would say don't choose school based on CCA alone. Look at the programs offered. That one is very important. And CCAs, yeah, single mixed school. Some people prefer like mission school. So this might be criteria that you want to look at. So it's not always just top school. I must get into top school. Yeah, I think we and NUS High is the missing one. Yes, thank you. So yeah, 4 specialized independent schools: SOTA, Singapore Sports School, SST, and NUS High. Yes. Yep. Any more questions before we wrap up?
All right, last chance. Any more questions? If you don't ask him now, you only see him on channel 5 or channel 8.
Channel 8 mostly channel 8.
Channel 8 Wow, so your Chinese must be very tekong.
Better than my English.
Really? Actually, you have a nice voice. I can hear that.
Thank you.
Very deep voice that I think, because now you are like just speaking, having a chat. But I think when you talk, when you speak or teach, your voice is very nice to hear.
Thank you.
When you scold, and I think the girls are like, wow. Yeah, but I know the kids like you Yeah, based on the feedback that the parents talk about you.
Wow, feel very happy, very blessed. I'm flattered. I'm flattered.
Okay, parents. Okay, any questions? You just post in the comment box. I mean, if Ren says it's free, he'll just share with you I mean, if it's not free, you have to go and see him at Taneo Dance Academy. Okay. I think because now it's already 8:39. Okay, why not like that? I will share with the parents your website. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I think you have a very nice website, and I think like what I told you just now, it really inspired me to learn to dance without breaking a leg and a hand and an arm. Yeah, then you can also share one fanatic away for the parents, because I think there's so much to take in, especially DSA. And I agree with you that somehow sometimes there's so much myth going on. So we don't know whether who say is correct or false lah. Also,
if I were to have one final takeaway, it will be that I feel that for DSA, we don't be too 怎么讲
when I say in Chinese or not, then I can hear a bit on Chinese, then I can do translation based on my capability lah. Okay.
I feel like for DSA, it's not like a make or break thing lah. So take it like just try law, but even if you fail, it's okay. I find that for CCA, it's more important that the students are doing things that they like, and they are doing it because maybe they see that it could be a potential plan B down the road, like a career option. Like maybe they can be a dancer or choreographer. Don't do it just for the sake of getting into a top school. I find that the mentality is not very healthy that way. Yeah. That's the main takeaway. Yeah.
And I totally agree with you, and what you're able to say, it resonated with me. Parents, I think in my own words DSA is another road. Just like grades, we do not let DSA success or PSLE grades define who your child is, and walk through the journey with them and make sure that the journey is a good fit for your child and not the other way around. Don't fit your child into the DSA. The DSA fit into your child so that your child can grow to the next level, because you want the best for your child, not the grades lah.
Correct. So don't go and learn the skill so that you can DSA. You learn the skill because you like that skill. You want to use that skill. You can apply it in your life. DSA is like more of like a byproduct that you do. It might as well, that kind of thing. Or since I'm good at dance, I might as well try. Yeah. Don't purposely go and learn just for the sake of DSA lah.
Okay, so thanks for sharing. So if parents want to contact you for whatever reason, and they want to sign up because they want to know the killer questions, how can they get in touch with you?
They can. My number is on this website, so it's 90069416. The one. Yeah. So if you have questions pertaining to DSA, you can just drop me a WhatsApp. Then maybe if they're your parents, you can just tell me, oh, I'm a parent from
LOB lah.
From LOB, then I'll know lah. So I would be happy to answer questions. Yeah.
What about this number?
That's my wife's number. So this one is more of if you want to ask things that's more dance related, then you can speak to her.
Then you ne?
You can ask me anything lah. You just want to chit chat.
Okay. Parents, to be fair to Ren Jie, they are running a business as well, because it's only right for them to invest their time in the students who have paid for their training. Don't go and ask because you want to know about other things. You can ask but make sure that you want to be fair as well So
no worries lah. No worries. I will still share. Actually, I share a lot of things lah. The things that I cannot share. Even if I tell you that I can't help you much anyway, because the things that I do for my students to give them an edge is actually the things that we do for them, like the choreography. We choreograph for them, and then we do the video editing and all that for them. So these are the things that even if I tell you, it doesn't really help you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ken, so with that, parents, again, like what Ren Jie said, you got anything, you will ask him lah. But give me some time to reply, because he also has his own classes and students to attend to as well. So so with the number, you can actually contact him or his wife lah. Just
drop me a text.
Yeah, please tell him you're from LOB. If not, they won't know what's the context. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, Ken. Okay, we have come to the end, and is it okay I can ask you one last question that I always ask my
Sure.
Yeah. I can hear your dog is trying to get into Zoom as well. Okay. I think we are talking about DSA and it's for PSLE kids. So this is a very important milestone for all of us, even for you and me when we were younger. So can I invite you to walk down the memory lane? And I know you are very young, yeah. So you go back to your younger self, your 12-year-old self, and then you saw the 12-year-old Ren Jie. What will the current Ren Jie tell the 12-year-old Ren Jie?
Wow, when I was 12, I would say that my parents they are not the kind that make me study hard lah. They let me do whatever I want. So if I were to go back and tell myself, I would say, good job, just keep doing what you're doing, chase your dreams. Because I feel that at the end of the day, like we study so much, all in all is to get a good job so that we can get a good pay, so we can be happy and do what we like. So why not just be happy? That's the ultimate aim, right? Be happy and just do what we like. Yeah, then life will sort itself out lah, I feel. So I will go back and tell myself, never mind, you don't like to study, right? It's okay, you will do well. 20 years down the road, you'll be fine. So just chase your dreams out. Don't be scared lah, to just do what you feel like doing. Yeah, as long as it's not anything illegal.
Yeah, so parents, this is it. Yeah, be happy and do what you like. I mean, don't wait until you get your good grades, then you get a good job, then you do what you like, right?
Yeah.
You can do what you like right
just
now.
do. Yeah. Right, that's the whole point, right?
All right. Yeah, so I think that's a very nice way to wrap up the session. So parents, anything for Ren Jie, you can go to Taneo, as in TANEO, then danceacademy.com. Go and get his number or his wife's number and then just ask them any questions. But again, if you know of any people who are interested in dance, please let them know. And the reason why I do this is because I think Ren Jie has been very nice to accept this this interview or sharing. Not many teachers are so kind-hearted like him. Already so busy with their own kids, and he also has his own kid as well. Yeah, who want to come out and share. So thanks so much for being here, really
welcome.
Appreciate. And I want to really do a shout out of his website. And if you know anyone who wanted to learn to dance, can adults learn to dance in your studio?
We don't have classes for adults right now, yeah.
Like moms or dads, they are very stressed from work. They want to dance how?
Can I open one class specifically for you?
Dance and do maths. Okay, Ken, Ren Jie, don't go first. Parents, thanks so much for being here and all the best for your DSA sharing my application. Yeah. Okay, bye-bye.
Okay, thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah, Jin and Li Zhen said thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, stop.